the cytoplasm and thereby get entry into the nucleus and thereby giving stimulation to the DNA, and then only the cells can give instructions to the other materials of the cell constituents, and thereby the cell can act according. Either it may be our kidney, or it may be our heart, or it may be our brain, or it may be our lung, whatever may be. Only when the thyroid hormone getting inside the nucleus or inside the cell, then only it can function properly. So any defect in the receptive level or any defect in the post-receptive level, that means post-receptive signaling mechanism, it can affect the thyroid problems. And next is regarding the iodine deficiency. I think you can follow me. Next is regarding the iodine deficiency. As you know, only with the iodine, with the thyroglobulin, it can give either MIT or DIT, or then MIT plus DIT gives T3 or T4, etc. But the iodine in quantity or quality may affects the synthesis of the hormones, because from the blood vessel this iodine when get entry into the, or when it reaches the thyroid gland has to trap the iodine. That is trapping, and the iodine has to couple with the thyroglobulin. Then the negative iodine has to be oxidized with the help of thyroid peroxidase enzymes, TP. So any defects in the thyroid peroxidase enzyme, or any defect in the organifications, or any defect in the coupling, it can also causes so many varieties of thyroid problems. And at the same time, due to some genetic defects or the hereditary biosynthetic defects, the thyroid may not function properly. And next level, there may be some defects in the hypothalamus, or any disorder of pituitary. In this level, our thyroid gland is very normal, but it will give symptoms of thyroidal abnormality, because as you know, our thyroid gland can function properly only with the direction or the instruction from the hypothalamus or from the pituitary, because the thyroid gland is controlled via a loop known as feedback loop or feedback mechanisms. So it causes some problems, and the common problem may be any pituitary adenomas or pituitary tumors or pituitary calcification or pituitary atrophy or agenesis, something like that. Pathological problems may affect the thyroid gland, and thereby thyroid may not be properly functioning. And next, about the, all of we people advise our patient to abstain or restrict about the consumption of the so-called food goitrogens. mean by a goitrogen or a goiter? Goiter is nothing but the abnormal proliferation of the tissues. So here abnormal enlargement of the thyroid gland is known as goiter. And at the same time, some substances or some type of food that causes or that acting as goitrogen. Why? Because these food substances, especially our cabbage or turnip or spinach, etc., contains a chemical known as thiocyanate. This thiocyanate inhibits the action of thyroid peroxidase enzyme, and thereby organification of the thyroid organification of the iodine may not take properly. And next about the TSH secretions, that is ectopic site, ectopic TSH secretions. What is ectopic? Ectopic is nothing but the TSH secretion other than the thyroid glands, or there are some specialized cells or the tissues in other than the thyroid gland may produce the TSH hormones, and this can be commonly or it may be seen in cases of ovarian tumors. So other than the thyroid gland, the TSH is produced, and the same TSH causes uncontrolled production of the, or it causes overstimulation of the thyroid gland and thereby produce more and more hormones. So in this occasion also you can see thyroid problems. And next is about the infections. As you know, fortunately our thyroid gland may not get infected as usual, because it is well protected in our body, but due to some grave or very acute infections, especially pharyngitis or laryngitis or tracheitis or pneumonitis or upper respiratory tract infections or dental caries, like this status may predispose to or migration of these microbes into the thyroid gland, and thereby infections and inflammation of the thyroid gland that leads to some fluctuations or imbalance of the functions of the thyroid gland, and thereby the thyroid gland is infected, and for a period of infection or a transient period of infectivity, your patient may be transiently become hyperthyroid, or your patient may become transiently become hyperthyroid also. So the hyperactivity or the resistance may be, or all these status are mainly due to all these causes, and I think you can follow or you can easily understand the real cause of the thyroid problems. And if you are having any comments or suggestions or queries regarding the data explained in this class, you can message me, or you can give your comments in the either in YouTube or in the Facebook itself, and because that helps the other members also. So thank you for watching. Thank you.